A quarry explored, an Oni defeated, a child brought home. Guys, gals, and MB pals, welcome back to Let's Get Wildemount. I am Gil Ramirez, your humble dungeon master, and before you are a wonderful panel of my esteemed friends and wonderful players. Let me introduce them to you, starting with CB.
Hey everybody, my name is Omega Jones, also known as a Critical Bard, and today I'll be playing Norvad, the Hollow One Way of Mercy monk.
All right, thank you. And next, I believe we've got Nick.
Hello, I'm Nick, and I'm here to play Ekris, the Tiefling Paladin Oath of Vengeance.
Thank you, Nick. And Aki.
Hi, everybody. I'm Aki, and I play Loom, your Fire Ganassi Arcane Trickster Rogue.
Thank you. Mike.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike. You might know me as Mike, I guess, and I'm playing Harmond, the Blood Hunter, Order of the Lycan.
Thank you. Kelli.
Muted. Hi, I'm Kelli, and I play Odessa, your resident gunslinger, who today is also apparently a librarian. It's okay. We're going to roll with it.
Shooting guns in the library is not a wise idea. And finally, Michael.
Hi, my name is Michael Sinclair II, also known as Michael Kritz. I'm playing Lirros, the Shatterkai Blood Cleric.
All right, thank you. So we've got a few sponsors to shout out today. Excuse me. You'll have to excuse my possibly hoarse voice for the rest of the session. But we'd like to start with a few announcements. Like I said, Adventuring Kit. You can be one of Adventuring Kit's many alpha testers. It's a new digital tool set for the D&D and tabletop RPG world. You can go with dice rolling. You can go with character notes. Remember, don't get bogged down by complex systems. With its use what you want design philosophy and accessibility as its forefront thought, Adventuring Kit will fill your void. Remember to go to adventuringkit.com for more information. And let's see, Nick, you've got some ground coffee that you'd like to.
Ooh, yes. Hot water, beans, giant mug, black cherry, almond, toffee. If you speak Thieves' Cant, you already know I'm talking about Found Familiar's Thieves' Cant blend. It's one of the incredible blends from their shop that is sure to keep you alert and on the lookout for valuables that are just waiting to be lifted from their resting place. Of course, I also have to mention how charismatic you can be with your roguish charm with the Rogue's Panache, one that'll give you the energy to charm the gold out of any Scrooge's pocket. And by the way, do you have Knowles? I mean, regular Knowles, because Found Familiar does. And all of the bags come with fantastic art you'll want to keep for your own secret art collection. Be sure to use the code GETWILD with an E for 10% off your order.
Thank you. All right, so then we've got Legendary Pants. Aki.
Are your pants legendary, or are you clinging as strongly as you can to that life of quarantine that has allowed you to go pantsless for so very long? If you are, I understand. Pants are terrible. Unless they're legendary pants. They can be definitely legendary if you check out Legendary Pants, a new company with dice to drink for. And if you missed the Kickstarter, you can still head over to their website. I can do words today, y'all. I can do them. At legendarypants.com and obtain their wine dice. Dice inspired by the sophisticated beverage that we all love and that you can definitely still enjoy without wearing pants. From classic red wine and Vino Verde to champagne and even bourbon, these click-clacks can be shared amongst friends as you clink your drinks together with glee. So make sure you go to the website and get to your dice today.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's what most people are going to be like struggling with as far as like social interactions coming.
Having
from
to
the
put
pandemic.
regular pants back on.
Pants, like
Yeah.
no, you know what? Don't need it. All right, Mike.
Oh, I was muted there. So, in a world where we long to create and inspire, Mage Hand Press is the place to be. They've created extra D&D 5e compatible content for your perusal. From the War Mage class, a class that answers the question, can I play a character using exclusively cantrips, or the Fey Folio, a complete book dedicated to all things Feywild, or Dark Matter, a 5e setting based in space with subclasses, items, and monsters galore. Check them out at store.magehandpress.com.
All right, thank you so much, CB. If we don't have anyone else to announce anything, right? I believe that's it.
I will be taking over Die Hard Dice
Yes,
today, and I have to
yeah.
do it in the best way possible. So, you sit in a tavern, eyes upon the flask as you roll a dice on the table. The die rolls off the table. A barmaid walks with cups of mead upon a metal sheet. Someone across the room screams, "Watch out!" The barmaid sees the dice upon the ground, almost stepped on. She pauses, satisfied, until she faces you. She grazes the flask upon your table, her awareness meddled with. In an attempt to grab the flask, you break your chair. The shocking sound of his break causes the barkeep across the room to stumble back in fright. He hits the shelf, causing bottles of alcohol to crash to the ground. The drunkard at the bar top, lit tobacco in hand, drops his smoked best friend and his confusion. Fire meets alcohol. Things ignite. Pain, terror, burning, death. A pause. Silence. You wake up. You see the dice in your hand. Well, was that a premonition? Did death's design mark you as its next target? You realize you just avoided not just dying, but dying hard. You too can avoid dying hard with getting Die Hard Dice. If you go over to dieharddice.com, you can catch many, many awesome dice, including the new Avalar dice set. You can catch the Forte, Glamour, and Whisper set designed by myself, and you can catch many, many other dice sets over there. Again, that is dieharddice.com. Use code GETWILD to get 10% off your next order. I am very proud of that final destination.
Oh no, Omega, did you just start what's going to become a running story for the ad?
CB for Dungeon Master, let's go!
Tune in next week.
Oh no, next week it'll be from the point of view of the barmaid.
Oh Lord. Yes,
I'm out of a job, you guys. That's it. I gotta go.
The epic adventures of what it's like to be service staff in the wonderful world of D&D.
This is completely because of that silly Final Destination post on Twitter.
Don't even get me started on that.
Either way, shout out to Die Hard Dice. I'm also here to talk about our favorite friends who are partnering with us to put on this amazing show. Starting with, hey, Wizards of the Coast, who currently own D&D. If you go over to twitch.tv/D&D, you can catch us right now as we are being hosted by their official channel. Hi, friends over there. Thank you so much for supporting our joy. You all are awesome. A big shout out to D&D Beyond for being our most of us premier digital dice service or digital D&D service, where we use the books, we use the digital dice, we use a lot of things over there. You can check out dndbeyond.com for all of your digital dice needs and digital content needs. We will be giving away a PDF of the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. During the break, there will be a break this time. Be just watching in the chat for that code. If you're a subscriber, you'll get an extra chance to enter and win. Yeah, am I missing anything on that? Yeah, that's during the break. I think that's it. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, a big shout out to Idle Champions. There is a code in chat right now. If you do exclamation code, if you have done it and it doesn't pop up, do not worry. It will pop up almost immediately. Lots of people are putting it in. That code today is HAWM KAGUBING. Again, that code's in chat and on the overlay. You can get an Electrum chest in the game where you can play many, many cool, awesome characters from D&D lore, including Shaka from Rivals of Waterdeep and Okira from Heroes of the Plain and D4. Big shout out to Idle Champions for supporting us and things that we do. That's that.
Thank you so much. All right, so I'd also like to thank Mythic for doing the best he can behind the scenes. He's the faceless man that holds the whole stream together. So yeah, shout out to Mythmatic. Let's see. Hey, folks, this is the second to last session of Let's Get Wild, Man, for season 1. That's right. I said season 1. We want to have a season 2. We want to have a season 3. We want to keep going. We love each other so much. I love me personally. I mean, me speaking as a dungeon master. Yes, I'm going to be biased, but I really love these people that you see before you. They're
Wait, who are you all?
Who this?
You gave me some Swede. Anyway, but yes, I want to let you know that we'd like to amp up our production value. I want to make terrain and maps for everyone to take a look at, to have a secondary map cam that we could all interact with, and the players can see specifically where they are, and you can see. We all love theater of the mind. I obviously come from, a lot of people here come from a background of theater, so they have all their imaginations coming to the forefront, which is wonderful. But it'd still be nice for all the other people that maybe they'd love to see more terrains and maps and whatnot. So if you'd like to see us help us get there, donations help to the channel. Obviously, spreading the word about us is a huge help as well. This way, next season, we can include maps and terrain and all the other stuff that we want to do. And because I honestly do love building terrain a lot. And who knows, maybe you'll see me on my own channel building some stuff that might be on the channel. So yes, let's see what else. I think that's it for announcements, if I'm not mistaken. So then, folks, it is time to get wild. All right, folks, welcome back. So, the adventuring troop known as the Wilde Ones, they ventured from a quarry, defeating an Oni, a creature that was using the caves and the quarry system there to hide out and entrap people, unwary folks, hopefully, to their demise, and sending them to Yinogu, the Lord of Gnolls. They eventually captured, they slayed the Oni and freed the captured child that was being held captive there, made their way back down to the city of Alfield, and spoke with the Watchmaster Bryce Feelid, who then told the rest of the adventurers here that they were very appreciative of all the work that they had done. Now, they also finally gathered the last reagent for their spell components that they required for the anti-blight method that they had procured from a lich, of all things. They made their way out into the city. Now in the late afternoon, the sun is just still right around that 30-degree line there. And they saw several figures walking around that seemingly didn't really fit in. They were wearing brick-colored robes, a darkish reddish robes, and they began to approach the Wilde Ones. 3 initially. One of them broke off to the side, and the 2 began to slowly make their way to them. And Norvad, you were the first one who saw this with your higher perception, and so they would probably be right around a 100 feet mark or so. You initially saw them like around the 200 foot area, and you watched them immediately. The one breaks off, and he's now on the side of a building, basically just watching you guys. But also, it seems like he's covertly, and with your passive perception, you can see he's covertly talking behind his cloak. Just kind of, you can see his mouth. One of these things, and he puts his cloak down and kind of readjusts it. And the other 2 make their way towards you. They're still walking slowly, and you can, yeah.
Oh no, go. You can finish your statement, sir.
Well, so one of them appears to have a smallish goatee. It completely covers up his most of his mouth, and has a little bit of like a sideburns kind of going on there. He's got a tan skin and curly black hair on top. The robes on him though seem to be very formal. Like they haven't really seen a whole lot of outside weathering. His the one to his side has similar robes, but the embroidery is not as fancy. Same color, same theme, but not as prominent as the one who seems to be kind of leading the walk there.
Okay, really quickly before we continue, we did confirm that when we were walking back, we stopped. We did take a short.
You got
rest.
a short rest, correct?
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, everyone has the ability to use their hit dice if they so wish. And if you have any abilities that come back from a short rest, you get that as well. So
Thank you. I just wanted to confirm.
no worries.
Cool. And then
So you're the first one that sees this. At some point, the rest of you will kind of like catch wind that Norvad is kind of staring at one direction more than anything else. The rest of you are, for the most part, out in the day. You're not necessarily kicked out of the watchtower, but you were done with Bryce's speech. And you watch them take away the child, and you assume that they're going to take care of that whole situation. But you have the reagents in your hand, and you're watching these two figures basically approach you now. They're right around like the 60-foot mark.
Okay. Well, before they even got that close, sorry, I just wanted to make sure that the short resting happened. I would say someone is coming.
So now, everyone at the 100-foot mark can see. You can see Norvad looking at off in the distance, and the rest of you now notice it. You're looking at these people that they don't necessarily belong here. They look like foreigners.
Are they still on the roofs?
They're not on the roofs. No, they're not on the roofs at all. They were walking on the ground. They were just amongst. Again, so you're watching the normal life of the city as they repair or do their normal daily lives.
Sure.
And these people basically are just standing around looking for folks. They're just like watching. They're people watching, and they're kind of doing what you're doing right now, to be honest. And
and Norvad just says, "They are coming, but let's not cause a scene. Let's know what their intentions are before we make a choice." But they are definitely looking towards us.
Was it seen us? Feel as though you don't know me at all.
We definitely have made a scene in the past. Do you remember the individual we knocked out?
I was using something called sarcasm.
Sarcasm. I will try to ascertain what your sarcastic nature is. I did not catch it.
I tried to keep it subtle.
I appreciate that.
Loom, if you want to, I heard you say that you're me. If you want to go right now and attempt a stealth check, you may do so.
That's basically what that was a precursor to. So
understood. Yeah, I heard it.
When the physical dice aren't any nicer to you than the digital dice are, gotta love it. 14.
Random number generators, y'all. 14. Okay, so you're talking with Norvad, and as you're speaking with him, you're essentially just moving back and then sidestepping behind Norvad. He's still talking to you, but you just making sure that hopefully that line of sight issue is not an issue. I will go ahead and roll. All right, so you are now watching these two men approach you, and they're now about 20 feet, and you watch as their gestures aren't aggressive. They aren't look like they don't want to get in some kind of like physical altercation. The main gentleman has his hands kind of clasped down and is walking towards you with an air of just sincerity. He's walking slowly, and he has the face of hoping that you see him, and now he'll essentially speak with you. Good afternoon. I My name is Thalmus. I belong to a group known as the Cultivationists, right? We are investigating wrongdoing in the Dwendalian Empire. In this case, in relationship to the Blight. We are looking for an item and would like any help finding it.
What was his name again?
Thalmus, he says. Thalmus.
Yes, I had it. Awesome. Cultivation Society.
Cultivationists, right? Yeah. So,
Right.
please, if you all will follow me, we have a room to the north end of town.
Why do you need to speak with us versus anyone else?
Well, it looks like you have a certain look about you, like you've been traveling.
Insight. Insight.
Insight.
Okay, insight for sure. CB, you all right?
Are you okay, fam?
Doing okay there?
So I guess I have to say my chat was covering Aki, so I didn't see Aki's reaction, but me and Michael at the same time went, "Oh, what you mean?" We got a certain look. Sorry, continue. Also, yes, insight.
All right. Who said insight? I think it was Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Norvad. And then okay. Lirros, Harmond, and Norvad, go ahead and give me an insight check then.
Yeah.
What's up, bruh?
That is
14.
16.
What if 14 plus 7? 21.
Ooh.
Nice.
Norvad insight's my biggest stat. Well, one of the two. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Lirros, what was your roll?
Mine?
No, Lirros.
Oh, Lirros.
16.
16, 14, and 21. Okay. Lirros and Harmond, it appears that he does want to speak with you about the blight, and he wishes that he seems like he's offering you some kind of room up to the north. Norvad, you feel that he's sincere in that he does want to talk to you about it, but it feels something on the back of your mind is just you're not quite sure yet. You just right now got in contact with this gentleman, so you're not really too sure a whole lot about him, but perhaps speaking with him further in this regard right now might prove useful. You know something is up, but you're not quite sure what it is necessarily. As with most people that you've kind of met, they tend to have a facade that they show off initially, but after you kind of get to know them, you break down a few barriers. It feels like that.
Cool. He doesn't really speak on that. However, he does say, "I do not speak for my group, but when individuals walk into a town and attempt to surround you, I don't really take that as a pleasantry."
Surround you? No, I'm sorry. Surround you.
I am very perceptive.
I don't... Sir, I believe you and I got off on the wrong foot. We're not trying to rob you, if that's what you think.
I never said rob. I said surround. Those are two different things.
Odessa's next to Norvad, and when she hears him say that they're surrounded, she does the classic pull back the coat, get ready to pull out gun.
All right, yeah,
you thing on me.
you
Paranoia
do
sets in.
you kind of grab your the lapel area of your coat and just kind of get ready for a quick draw kind of a deal. Norvad, though, go ahead and roll me a perception check as you say this.
Because that's not me talking out of my butt. There were three we saw.
There were three, but
one
they weren't
definitely.
He's not really surrounding you. In fact, you can see where the other guy is still currently. He's still on that building. He's still 200 feet out by that building.
That's what I was asking when I was like, someone's on a roof, and you're like, no, they're all in the street.
No, they're on the street. He is in the street. He's on the side of the building. He's doing one of these other things.
Oh, okay.
You said on a building, so in my head, I was
my apologies. Yes,
okay.
On as in leaning on a building.
Cool.
Gotcha. Sorry, it made it seem like they saw and then it began to split. And
this is like a glitch in the game where he's walking here and then suddenly he's doing kind of one of these things. He's
That's a 22.
22 for your perception. Okay.
22,
So you
yes.
you in saying this, you look back in the direction where that other person was, and you see that person there, still there, and they're not looking at you anymore. They're just kind of moving around, and again, same with the same kind of like rust-colored vestments, a little less robe-like and more like if you had to class him, he'd be not a caster, if you will. But yeah, so it's he's more just staying far away, and you saw the potential, possibly talking to someone, and then that's all you saw. But
Okay.
they seem to be paying mind. Even with that perception check, as you look around, you do notice there are others of the same vestments, two down to the far south, and they're walking away from you, and they're just kind of moving on down, looking around for various other people. It seems like probably folks just like yourselves, and the gentleman in front of you will speak up again. Thalamus. Again, my apologies. We might have gotten on the wrong foot here. What I mean is that you all seem to have a adventurous look to yourselves. You're most of the folks here in this village don't carry around weapons. The guards do, and so whenever we see someone such as yourselves, we figured it might be a good time to speak with them in regards to, well, in this case, the blight. You seem to be capable of walking outside of these walls, and therefore might have seen some stuff. So that's what we should talk to you about. Do you mind? And he'll offer his arm towards the direction.
Norvad looks at the rest of the group. He's not speaking for him.
If there's something that you want to talk to us about, I would much rather know the subject. You can tell me in a soft voice if you like, but I do not feel comfortable. You're saying that we're high profile and you want to escort us to a private room.
Well, we own a room to the north end of town, and well, it's dealing with the blight. We want to know what has happened here. We have got several horticulturists on staff, and we'd like to know if perhaps you or a loved one has been affected by the blight. And he'll procure a list of questions, and you can kind of see very, very quickly there, just scanning it very quickly, that it seems to have normal questions. Things like, how long have you lived in Allfield? How has the blight affected you? Have you or someone eaten blighted food? And it seems like menial. There are like a couple of pages that obviously you cannot see, but he, after just kind of barely showing you, he'll just, these are simple questions. And again, it seems like you have traveled outside of the town's walls, and we just like to, if you please, you don't have to say yes. We figured we would have the best lead with you. Me and my companion here have spoken.
I do not mind, but like my friend Norvad here said, you'd have to ask the rest of the group. Also, I grow tired of your vagueness, so sure.
I mean, if you're just trying to get us to take a survey, I'm sure we can do that out here.
I also would like to note that we do not live here, so we aren't affected by this blight.
I mean, that's also true.
At you saying that you do not live here, they both kind of give each other a glance and back at you. So then you're out of towners. How the blight has probably not affected you then as much.
It hasn't affected us at all. We simply came here on a task, and then we helped with another task as we were here.
Oh, do you mind if I ask which task?
We helped.
You don't.
Odessa finally reaches out and just puts her hand on Norvad's shoulder. We do mind.
Fair enough.
It seems like you've got an awful lot of questions. And, I mean, it would be nice first if we found out if your little association was even real.
The cultivationist, right? It's okay. Do you have
You'll have to pardon me, friend. I am new to traveling, and I'm still a little distrustful.
And he talks to his cohort there in a lower voice. You can still hear it, but he's like, "Do you have the papers you have?" And they kind of like talk amongst themselves as they, okay, all right, and he'll procure some legal documents, and he'll just no, okay, well,
Dungeon Master, in this time that all of them have been chatting, can I have been sneaking up on the one that is further afield? I would like to speak with them.
Okay, let's see. Go ahead and this is a new stealth roll. The two that had walked up to you didn't see you, but this other person who is leaning against the wall, not on the roof, is going to do his. Don't even worry. Natural one.
Yeah, I rolled a 22, so
A what?
A 23.
Oh, okay, yeah.
23. Yeah, so
The person is literally looking up to the east and cannot even see you. So at this point, you can be as close as you want to that person.
yeah, I'm just gonna be like maybe a couple of feet behind him in the shadows.
Okay. They appear to have. You can see like their vestments here now. Has like a vest. Same, crimson colored, like the brick red color. The pants are definitely a little bit tighter. The boots are a little bit more rugged. It seems like he's more of like the foot soldier kind of person. Doesn't have a weapon on him though, but is built. You can see definitely a muscular tone to his thing as he's still kind of leaning over, and every now and then you watch him procure a little peanut and kind of munch on it and look again still towards the east. So you get a good read on him at this point. If you want to make an investigation check, you're more than willing. You're more than yep, go for it.
That's a 15.
Okay, with the 15, you don't really get a whole lot more than just the initial, appearance from him. Occasionally, he will look somewhat in your direction, kind of back where the other two are, and exactly. He's slow at it. He's not, doing one of the quick head motions, so you can kind of easily slip behind a large barrel that is nearby. No problem. But that's pretty much all you really get. In fact, that's the reason why you're not able to get a great read on him, is because every now and then he'll turn around and cause you to kind of dip back. All right.
I'm just gonna keep my eye on him while they're taking care of the other guys.
How close do you want to be to that person? Again, the barrel's probably maybe 10 feet away.
I think I'm safe there for the time being.
Very well. All right. So the rest of you are now
while Norvad was talking before I interrupted him, Odessa would like to do a long once over of their outfits to see if she sees anything that she might recognize from any books she's read, anything like that.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an investigation check, as you're now
I'm looking for specific things.
Yep, specific.
And just to confirm, what time of day is it?
It's about I want to say it's 4 p.m.
Okay.
So the sun isn't down by any means. It's not dusk or anything like that. But you had a long day traveling back and resting in the early morning. So yeah.
That's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
Looking for any logos of this society that they claim they're part of, etc.
Then I'm going to send a thing specifically to you.
Oh, good.
These people don't seem like they want the smoke, but they're real close.
And all right, so I'm going to send
That's how we deal with door-to-door salesmen.
Yeah. You see a small pin, very, very small pin, and allow it to get there, but put it on your specific chat.
Okay.
And as soon as it loads,
I was going to say I'm staring. I'm like,
I may have to sacrifice a little bit of my bandwidth just for this. There you go.
Okay, wait here.
So you see a small pin very small, and I mean like it's a centimeter by a centimeter. Very small pin on the inside underneath the lapel, but it's just such that the fabric of the overcoat is just off, and you can see it just under there, under his on his right side. You're not sure what that symbol is. The meta of it is that you don't know what that is. Or you can do your best for a history check, but I don't believe that you would know what that symbol is.
I do not.
Okay. But you do see that.
But Odessa would kind of get a step closer and just say, "My, that is some fine workmanship on your jewelry there. Do you mind if I take a look?" You're muted, but it's very fascinating to watch you do the hand motion.
He shows his rings, and he kind of does one of these things, like readjustments. He goes, "Oh, my rings."
Oh no, I was talking about your brooch, your little pin.
I'm sorry,
your little pin. Yes, the one on your shoulder.
Oh
no, you just pulled your cape over it. I just was wondering. Right, you know, you sure?
Let me see if I can do something here.
I'm just so interested in your cultivation society. I would just love to see what your logo is.
Super scary, and I don't know why.
Okay, so
I can roll intimidation if you really want.
No, anyone who wishes to, specifically you, Odessa, actually, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Thank you.
Perception. I suck. 13.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 for Norvad, yeah.
Dirty 20 for Norvad. Harmond, what was yours?
Dirty 20 as well.
Dirty 20. Okay. So you two, Odessa, you don't see anything happen. In fact, as he does this, you see it's gone. It's missing. However, Harmond and Norvad, you're watching where Odessa is looking at, and he seems to do a little sleight of hand with picking off a pin there, and he'll put it back on. I don't know what you were talking about.
Oh, I must have been mistaken. We have had a very long day.
I would be very interested to see that pin that you had snagged off there for a second.
No, there's no pin.
Trust goes.
Look, it appears that you are all very uncooperative.
All right.
I mean, we're not uncooperative. We are tired, okay? We are tired and we are hungry.
Fully understandable. We are tired as well.
I am going to cast Channel Divinity. Lirros is over this. He's been walking around, beating around the bush, and he's just like, I'm casting Channel Divinity on him just to produce the because we all saw him grabbing things and being all finicky. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that, and he has to succeed a Constitution saving throw.
Natural 20.
Oh,
natural 20.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay, everybody. I mean, maybe it's something like his mama gave him or something. He just doesn't want to share with everybody. I get it.
Tell you what, buddy. Trust goes both ways, and so far you've approached us randomly off the street. Asked for us to go to a private location. We don't know you. We don't know your intentions. To pitch us something that we have no idea for people that we don't know who you work for. And you've been kind of quiet about it. So how about instead we find a nice quiet corner of a tavern in a nice public setting, and we can continue talking there with a nice glass of ale and hopefully a pair of pants. I really need pants right now. And as you notice, he is still in the makeshift robe.
Yeah.
Right now, we are tired. We're exhausted. We've been in fights. I've lost my pants, and I'm slowly losing my patience.
He loses his pants a lot.
Yeah, and you do not want to see me when I lose my patience.
Oh, nor your pants,
like a
good sir. Fair enough. You can lead us to any tavern you wish.
All right. Harmond forgets what the taverns in this town are.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
So did I.
It's the I have it written, the Feed and Me Tavern.
Yes.
That is it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Norvad, you get inspiration for that.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
As as we are walking down the street, Odessa will kind of hang back towards the back of the group, and she's going to pull out her little journal sketchbook and just make a sketch.
Okay. Yeah, do so. I'm not even have you roll for it. It's not that difficult of a thing to.
I mean, I can. Kelly can only do stick figures, but I'm pretty sure even I could reproduce that one.
As we're walking, I think Norvad's going to be right next to this person, and he says, I wanted to be clear. I, probably more than the others, am unsure as to what exactly is going on. But you have given a vibe that makes me and our group not trust you. Perhaps that trust can be regained. But for now, this is what it's going to be.
He walks around with his arms kind of like this as he, he's basically walking with you, not really knowing where you're taking them. And he'll basically kind of break his arms and say, well, don't worry. We've been permissed by the Starosta of the town guard. We are here with permission. Besides, this should be quick.
Okay. From my history, and doing what I used to do, I'll pull this up again because he mentioned a thingy. I wrote it down. Oh, does the cultivationist right mean anything to me? Like, would I have heard this organization
Go ahead
at
and roll
any
history.
point?
Yeah.
17.
17. There are several guilds and organizations everywhere in the Dwendalian Empire. This one doesn't necessarily come to mind, but because there are probably thousands of guilds, You're not entirely sure. This, I don't believe you've been to Allfield previously, correct?
No. Because the places I would go to are the major civilization points. So yeah.
You did know that there was another. On your travels, there was another guild called the Harvesters that seemed to kind of have the same feel to them. They're worried about the crops, making sure everything is, copacetic throughout the land, or at least an area, but not necessarily within the Dwendalian Empire. So you probably imagine this is something along those lines. Not a whole lot of guilds like this are very prominently known. You may know I will say you do know the thieves guilds around various places.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
So,
and also while he's talking, Gil, can you check our Discord, please? Well, you can continue, Michael. Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna continue walking. I'm just trying to keep a close eye on them because what they're doing is something that Lirros has done. So Lirros in general is just on edge. So.
Did the person who was standing out by the building follow along when they started moving towards the tavern?
No, they seem to still be kind of looking around. In fact, they, after a while of leaning back and seemingly finishing off the little bag of peanuts that they have, better say that properly for web captioner, they make their way towards the east again. So now they got up and are just kind of all right, and making their slow way towards a eastern direction in the town. From your vantage point, you can see probably 3 more individuals of this type.
Oh, a very bad rogue wants to follow them. See where they're going and what they're up to. But the rest of the party is headed in a different direction.
I'm of a mind that says whenever I play D&D, I don't care about splitting the party. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think Loom is going to go on a little adventure.
He's smiling. You can't trust.
What did you just say?
He's smiling.
Girl, I was just doing too many things at once. What did you just say?
I said
he told her to split the party.
When I play D&D, when I'm the player in the D&D thing, I don't mind splitting the party to do little covert missions.
Oh, hell, we're gonna die.
I'm just planning.
No,
to
nobody's
cheat.
going to die except for Loom, who is
We
about to
gonna
do something
die.
very, very foolish.
Well,
and follow
parties
this
split
guard.
all the time. Look at Scooby Doo; they do it constantly. So
Mm.
See,
And,
So-
good point.
and they die.
Good point.
Loom
Good
is going to try to stay out of sight and follow this guard.
Roll me a stealth check and then also a perception check, just as you continue to move around about town.
Ooh, that is a terrible stealth check. No, we didn't ask for that. That's only a 9. And then
Okay, and then give me a
perception,
perception.
not much better. It's a 10.
Natural 1 for the perception of the gentleman, and
Nice. So even though I'm not stealthing as well as I'd like, I'm still stealthing well enough. And
Well enough,
perception was
right.
10.
10. Okay, so it's kind of hard to watch the move throughout the crowd here. It's not necessarily a large crowd, but you think that as you're moving throughout town and you're realizing that you can't, it's still daylight, and you've got dark robes on you, so you don't necessarily stand out, but you're more of a draw in for eyes than most of the people of Allfield. So you think that maybe staying far away might be enough to get you out of sight. The gentleman walking around doesn't seem to notice you, and the other people in robes that are kind of wandering by, you tend to use other people as cover as you walk behind them or aside them, and you do make your way towards what looks like a small little like covering that's got 2 other people in the same kind of robes, just taking a break underneath an awning and on a circular table, kind of basically like an old barrel that has a wooden slab on top of it. 3 chairs are there. One is empty, and you assume that the gentleman's going to at some point make his way to that area. It's near an alleyway that has a feed and tech type of store where you can find all sorts of supplies, and there are plenty of barrels and crates and other boxes that you could easily use to your advantage if you so wish. Right now, your 10 is riding for a while until you do anything else. But
I'm observing until I can find a good place to hide.
okay, so we'll go back to the rest of you as the other gentleman, Thalmus, who and his cohort, he's still procuring. He still has the letter which has like the official signatures and whatnot. It seems like there's a like a starosta stamp on it and various other things. And even with your perception, you can see, it's got the cultivationists right guild and various other names that you probably can't really tell. Thalmus is on there specifically, and it looks like possibly the name of the other gentleman, which is Sherim. And again, not really knowing, not having heard it, you just assume that it could be his name.
I'm just gonna follow them. I don't know what the rest of the party is doing, but at this point, Lirros is just like, let's figure out what you folks are about. That's where he is.
Great.
So
So you
Norvad is quiet, but he's following, or at least we're still going to the tavern, correct?
Yep, you make your way to the tavern there, and you can see the little gnomish friend is still scurrying about. There are a few booths in this tavern on the lowest floor there, opposite the counter where the bar is, and that one room where you all had the nice bath earlier the day before, I think. Yeah. So there appears to be one empty booth, but you could only fit maybe a total of 6.
Norvad doesn't need to sit.
Okay.
Odessa, as Lirros starts to hang back, she just kind of catches his eye, and very under her breath in Zemnian, which I can say in Zemnian, but I'm not sure if Michael actually speaks Zemnian.
I do not.
Okay.
Harmond does.
Oh,
Say it anyway and then translate.
Do it.
mhm,
Yeah. Do it because it's amazing.
Yeah,
Do it
so
live.
she'll kind of hold the book over with image and just say, "Kennst du dieses Bild?" Which means, Do you know what this image is?
Would I know the symbology of what she just
Should I
showed me?
describe the image to him?
You can see it. So I'll send it to you. You know what? Hold on. Screw it. I'll just show you all. It's not like it's that big of a deal. But you all see. Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. Lirros, you see this.
Okay.
Right. So
What
you
does
see
that mean
that
to
image.
me?
To you, you're gonna roll to see if it does mean something to you. Even with your background, you have been in the greater part of the Dwendalian Empire, but still
There's definitely some organizations that I definitely did work in, and so
you did, yes.
Is this a history you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
A 16.
It's 16. You've seen it before. You're not quite sure if you remember the name, but you know it is a higher order of some kind. That because it is a it's on a person with robes, dark red, and you're thinking something like a magocracy. No, it's a something with wizards. You're not quite sure, but you know that it has to do with the spell casting ability of a great many people.
Okay.
You're not entirely sure of the name.
All right.
I like how none of us are wizards.
How we're walking with an individual or many individuals?
Just two. The two that you saw, the two that approached you earlier.
And are we like in an alleyway? Are we in the bar already?
You are now currently, if you wanted to do anything before that, but you are now basically making your way into the booth there. There only are 6 people allotted to this booth. It's a rectangular table, and it's only 3 wide per side.
And anyway, I guess we're near the end. So because Lirros is very proficient in spycraft, and he's just going to test the waters on these people. He doesn't care at this point. He wants to see if he knows that they are somewhat of proficient casters, he wants to see what they would do. So
okay.
Odessa's watching Lirros yes, no, maybe, yes.
They're quite powerful, so I guess we should start this conversation.
And I'm going to whoever looks the weaker of the bunch do I have to make an insight check to see who seems younger or less experienced? Or
yeah, go for it. Go. You can assume, but yeah, if you wanted to go do an official D&D insight check.
How many are in the tavern with us?
There are a few more people in the tavern. They're enjoying a supper type of meal. You can see actually there's a lot of soups, bowls of soup and whatnot.
Other people in robes.
No, just the 2 people in robes.
Also
that's
16.
Okay.
And they sat down. They're sitting next to each other, but they're waiting for you to sit down with them. Who wants to sit down with them? There are 4 other slots.
If they're sitting down, or is one of them blocking a way out? Are they at a
no?
booth?
They are
okay.
Actually, you're technically blocking their way out.
Okay. Anyway, I rolled a 16. Does that indicate to me and between the 2 of them
yeah, you imagine that you think Sharim is possibly his understudy, right? Hasn't really spoken much, has kind of done the bidding of Thalmus. Whatever he says, procure this and do this and that kind of thing. And they look at each other, and it's just been kind of quiet. So you imagine that Sharim might be the lesser experience of the 2. We'll say that he does appear to be younger, and the individual Sharim, tan skin, darkish tan skin, completely bald, and just has a small little tuft of hair on the underside of his chin, and that's about it. That's no other discerning features other than his robes that he's also carrying that are less embroidered, less formal.
I'm gonna lift my hand up, and then you're just gonna see the tendrils of crimson kind of form into a tiny little ball. I'm just gonna push it towards the Sharim, and I'm trying to cast hold person on him, and to see what they are gonna do.
Okay. And you have to roll for that, correct?
13 wisdom, yeah.
I have to roll with 15 wisdom. All right. Natural 20. So the tendrils And you watch, he's like, ale has been served. Soup has just now basically, sorry, no, the bread has been served. We'll go with that. And you can see him start to kind of like break it and starts to like eat. And he's not even really noticing. He's kind of just getting into that entire like mode, right? And as he's biting down, he watches these tendrils kind of like, ugh! And he basically moves his head back, almost hitting his head on the backboard, and the tendrils kind of. Everyone is staring now at this like spot on the tavern wall that has now this like weird energy that's now slowly dissipating, and they look back at you. I'm sorry, what? What the hell was that? And he drops his bread and like he looks at Thalamus, who's like, what are you?
You tell me.
No, you tell me. What was that about?
It's about you're keeping secrecy. You're seeming to be obfuscating things the whole time. You seem to be acting anxious. We're here to talk. Please.
Yes, we were here to talk. Why are you casting spells? The entire tavern's now looking all at you. They're like, in the middle of soups or bread or ale, and just kind of, they're looking now at the known proprietor, who's like, no, like not again. A few people seem to kind of be like getting up slowly to make for the door.
Noticing the tension, and not knowing that there was going to be spell casting, Norvad looks back at Odessa and Lirros and looks at the group and says, I am still very confused
As
at
am I.
now this entire situation. Why are we attacking them if they have willingly come with us?
I
to
was
this
testing
tavern?
their capabilities. I was not going to be doing any sort of aggressive, damaging effects.
Harmond just slowly raises his hand. If we're gonna do this, I'm getting my pants. And then he gets up from the table and he just silently walks upstairs. He flicks a gold coin to the bartender and just silently walks up.
Roll me a d20 for that coin, just as an aside here.
That is just a flat D20.
Yeah, just flat d20. No.
That's a 9.
9. It falls in some patron's cup in his ale. Just you can actually hear it just clink the glass and boom as it falls to the bottom there. The guy's like, you know what? he gets up, starts making his way out the door. He looks like he was ready to just stay and watch it, but he's like, no, now my ale is soured. So you make your way upstairs. The other two gentlemen are the two we'll call them the robed figures there are with their hands up, and they're rolling up their papers, and he's like, just took this away, you watch Stream kind of push it into his pouch there, and like, something tells me you were not willing to talk with us at all. Look,
You're the one who seems to be, we need to talk in a private place. We need you to move from this place.
No, it doesn't have to be private. We happen to have a building to the north. It is a normal guild's building. I mean, what would...
Well, then out with it. If it's nothing, then out with it.
I believe
he stands up and goes, look, it seems that you don't really wish to participate, and that's fine. We don't really want to hurt you or bother you or do anything else any further.
Wait.
DM, Kelli, not Odessa. The letter that we found about vegetable mancy, did it have that sigil anywhere on it?
It did not.
Because they named it.
It didn't. It wasn't named. It was just with the initials C and A.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it. I was hoping that it was like their stationery.
Wax seal.
Like
no. If it did, it would have gotten melted. The wax seal would have probably gotten melted when everything was burned.
Oh well.
And so nothing to be.
Sad face.
Yeah. But good question. Anyone else at this point, as they're kind of like getting up and just moving?
Yeah, Norvad says, I am a slow learner, but I learn. let's breathe. If this is important enough for you to stop us, then we can listen, and no one else should antagonize. To be safe, we don't know what's going on.
At this point, you can see like a shadow fall in the like the doorway, only because someone has entered in, and it looks like it's one of the town guard who's just peering in, having watched everyone leave the town. You think maybe someone has called their attention, and he's kind of peeking in there and goes, "Everything all right in here?"
Everything is fine. There was a mishap.
And he looks over to the barkeep there, the owner, and you don't see anything really happen between them, but the guard, now having looked at the gnome, sees you all and goes, "Very well then," and he walks out.
I do not partake in alcohol or beverages, but if you would like one, I will go attain some.
Very well.
And I'm just gonna sit down.
Odessa reaches over and takes the other half of the bread loaf.
You just
She's not going to sit down though.
Okay. So who then is sitting down? I believe Odessa and Norvad are still standing up.
I'm still standing. Yes.
Ekris will take a seat to try and kind of.
All right. We have Lirros
Begin some
and
normalcy.
Ekris taking a seat with them. There are two other seats. Harmond, you're more than welcome to sit down if you wish. I know you've got your pants on now. Your battle pants.
Yeah, Harmond actually comes down and he's funny enough, not wearing pants. That's a weird way to start this. He's wearing like a really baggy tunic and the equivalent of what I guess you could call the fantasy equivalent of a traditional tartan. So it's like a sash, and then there's a tartan that goes a little bit past his knees, and his boots, and he heads down.
Okay, so you head down, you take a seat. Now, again, it seems to be a little bit more comfortable now that there's only really one extra spot there, whereas Odessa and Norvad are standing up. You sit down, and then the two robed figures will sigh, put their arms down, and sit down. Very well. Let's begin. We're going to switch over to Loom, who is making their way through the town. Loom, where are you now? You've now watched them sit down. The gentleman you're tracking has now sat down and has produced what appears to be another bag of peanuts, and is now kind of divvying them out. I mean, again, web caption, right? I just got to make sure, right? And is kind of doling them out a little bit and just opening up the bag as they kind of sit there and munch. And you can watch a few gestures as like they're talking, possibly about really nothing. Just they seem to know each other.
I'm curious mostly about the building that I followed them to. Like, what does it look like? Does there appear to be like multiple points of egress, like a way in?
The awning that they are currently under is attached to a building, but it's not necessarily in front of a like a door. In fact, there only seems to be a small window on the other side of this wall that they're at. And you imagine that because of the way the streets are, that the entrance to this building is on the other side. There actually is a sign, and it looks like it's probably a butcher of some kind. So you don't think that they belong to it, but they're just taking a respite there underneath the awning in the shade.
And does this building appear to be in the direction-ish of like where the other man was earlier gesturing to? Like, are there any markings that like designate this as anything other than a butcher's shop?
You can get closer if you wish to further identify the shop if you want to. So
yeah.
Go ahead and roll for me another stealth check. And you have many directions you can walk here. You don't have to go necessarily on that street. You can move into the alleyway. And what's that roll?
That's a natural one.
Natural 1. So you're deciding you're hiding behind a barrel, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go check out the building. And you stand up, your hooded cape catches a splinter on the barrel, and it's enough force that the barrel begins to and begins to roll slowly out, crushing the not crushing but necessarily, but making that crushing sound of like that gravel and dirt as it rolls out into the street. Everyone in that basically like a 60-foot radius looks in that direction, and then notices you're watching the 3 figures that are robed look at you now.
I think that having been spotted, Loom is going to
What are you doing?
If there is anything that is nearby to like look at or look into, like maybe another one of the barrels, perhaps they can like kneel down next to it and like try to ascertain what's inside. This is a bit of them like kind of bluffing to make it seem as though they were.
You're actually near the feed and tax store, which appears to be open. The door is closed, but it appears to be open, and there are a few patrons inside doing transactions in there, getting ropes and whatever materials they may or may not need. So it's about 10 feet away from you. You can dip down in there if you like.
I will make as though I accidentally knocked over the barrel in an attempt to get to the shop.
Okay. Do you pick up the barrel?
Sure. Right it. Just sort of blustering, like, oh no, what did I do? Kind of fixing it, like making a bit of a show of like badly resetting it, and like it kind of tips and they're like catching it. Like it's just that
right. Yeah, you overperform the
just a little
rocking
bit
of the barrel, right? Okay. Roll me a deception check here, just for yucks.
Sure.
For the giggles.
We're doing so well right now.
Yeah.
This 13.
13. Okay. Hold on. I should roll for them. Do you glance back at them at all?
No.
Okay.
I specifically avoid making eye contact.
Sure. Yeah. You're just beelining it. This is you have eye on the prize, and you make your way inside the shop there. So what you don't notice is that one of them completely blows it off. Not important. Whatever. The one that actually you were following recognizes you from the group earlier and gets up. And now you're inside, though. You are now inside, and you can smell the dried meats, the jerky that they have at hand. You can smell like what appears to be a very like pungent, probably some kind of ointment for farm animals or horses or something like that. And you actually see a wooden horse almost to life scale, where it has various drawings on it that depict various things that, like, in your quick glance, you probably think that the ointment is for the horse and you have to apply it a certain thing. You're walking by trying to get past all these things. There are various objects hanging off from the ceiling on ropes or nets. It's kind of like an apothecary also. Like this guy tries to basically sell all sorts of goods, but it does have a very strong smell. And there are various places you can hide in here. However, there are about 3 other people in the store gathering supplies. They're holding it in their hands, or they're making their way towards the front desk there, where you can see an older gentleman with a very, very wide mutton chops, grayish color, and just kind of sitting there doing the transaction. Sees you walk in, and then kind of glances outside and just continues the transaction. And so what are you doing? Where are you now?
I'm not going to try and I don't think I'm necessarily, because I wouldn't have noticed that person is following me now.
No.
I don't think that Loom would like make any attempts to like necessarily hide inside the shop, like find a place to hide inside. They're probably trying to very casually peruse the items, maybe casting their glance towards the door now and then, but for the most part, like they're trying to, as much as possible, show a genuine interest in what is in the shop.
Sure.
Because they don't want to raise the suspicion of the proprietor either. So
understood. Yeah, the proprietor is, looks like he's busy with the transactions. So you're pretty much clear from everyone inside here. One or two of the patrons inside will just, shoot a quick glance at you and then just go back to their own business. Just acknowledging you, basically. Go ahead and roll me a perception check at this point, though.
They lower their hoods or try and look a little less,
Okay.
Conspicuous. Let's see. That was a natural 19, and you said it was perception, so
yes.
That'll be a 22.
Great. So you can see from where you're at now, there's like a center column of two giant beams that hold up the middle of the roof there. And they've used this to make a wall, and you can see various things on the wall that they would probably be selling. And you think you can probably dip around that area for sure from the outside viewports and whatnot. And you see a back door that leads to, you think, a storeroom or possibly the living quarters of this proprietor. But looking through it, the door is somewhat cracked a little bit open. With that high perception, you can see that there is a back door to the entire area.
Okay. I think Lim is going to start making their way over that way.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
That's a 9.
9. Okay. Let's see here. Even though you rolled a 9, they rolled a 3, which is only a 7. So you make your way past. You hear the door creak a little bit as you slip right through. You realize, I'm not going to try to close the door in case it sounds even worse. So you leave it alone. You're inside this room. You're kind of backing up. And you look towards your left, and there is a woman who looks like she's chopping up various objects to prepare. It looks like there's like a scented candles kind of operation going back there, and chopping up some herbs and whatnot, throwing it into a large cauldron, and has not noticed you, but you are very close to her, like within 2 feet from her.
I'm gonna try and avoid her notice as much as possible, and continue to try and sneak towards that other door.
Okay, continue to make another stealth check here as she kind of like perks up her ear and says, "Oh, Chauncey, is that you?" Not turning around. Chauncey?
Let's see. Stealth, correct? That is 19.
19. Great. So just at the moment when she turns around to look at the door, she's wiping her hands on the apron. You moved behind her, and she looks around and sees nothing, and just kind of, with her hip, just kind of budges the door, and it kind of closes back slightly again. You are now towards the very back door, and you're very close to it. She's right back to her business. What are you doing?
Trying to get the heck out of here.
Okay, so you go to grab the doorknob and you kind of turn it slowly, and you realize, oh shit, it's locked. But you're on the inside. So go ahead and roll me a investigation check here.
Yeah, that's weird. Investigation, you say? That is a 15.
15, great. So you run your hand vertically up the door there where the knob is, and you realize, there's the latch, and you slowly move it. The bolt, you can hear it slide and make that telltale notch sound, and then you go back to the doorknob and make your way out. Sunlight is somewhat appearing nearby, but you're there for just a brief moment, and you close the door back. You're out. You're free. You hope.
Yeah.
Okay, where are you
I-
going now?
I think that is about as much trouble as I need to get into today. So Loom will put their hood back up and kind of dust themselves off. Nobody has to know. And they start running back in the direction they last saw their friends.
Okay, great. So you heard, oh no, you didn't. Go ahead and roll me now I'll have you do a tracking check. So just give me, what would this fall under? You just give me a investigation check. Another investigation check. Now with disadvantage though, because you have no idea where they moved off to. I don't. Were you there when they?
I was far. I might have been far enough away that I wouldn't have been able to hear them. I would have seen them start heading off in a
But
direction.
initially, though,
but
when they approached you all and they mentioned that they had a room to the north, would you have heard that part?
I think I would have heard that part at least.
So that might have been okay. So this is why you're giving you've been given disadvantage, because you know that direction, but they went off in a different one. So.
Yeah. No, I rolled an 11 on my investigation.
Okay, so it takes you all a while to find them. You've now traveled a little bit away, so we're gonna take a quick break here first, and then we'll go back to the folks at the tavern and find out what goes on there. So, CV, take it away.
Thank you all so much for being here. You all keep this show going. As we get said in chat, and as Gil has said before, this is our second to last episode. Next week will be the last episode of season 1 of Let's Get Wildemount, but we want to make sure we can come back for season 2. And the way we do that is, hey, money. So it's being honest. Obviously, everything is never expected, always appreciated. But if you want to help support us even further, you can look at the tip command or the myth command to give things directly to the man behind the curtain, Mythomatic himself. We'll be giving away a code for the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, courtesy of D&D Beyond, a digital copy of this, not in hardback. Be watching for that. Reminder: subscribers get an extra chance of winning. Only put in the code once, or Nightbot will disqualify you. You will not get a notification, but it will be there, I promise. With that, we'll be back in the next 5-7 minutes or something like that. Bye.
And welcome back, folks. So, the Wilde Ones, having just recently encountered the various dark red robed figures, have somewhat skirted their plans to talk with them in their own building to the north, and have made their way into the familiar tavern for which they have rented rooms out. They are now in the process of speaking with them, although having recently been somewhat harassed by Lirros's spell of hold person that didn't quite land, scaring them rightfully so, and they are now surrounded by you all, sitting down, and Shareem has pulled out the list again and put it on the ground there. He begins and produces a quill, licks it, and dips it in his little oil well as he's beginning to kind of like crush various things with a little bit of water, and preparing that whole thing. And then finalizes it, dips it, and he gives a nod over to Thelmus. Again, I thank you all for this. It should not take too much time. But anyway, we wish to unravel the mysteries behind this blight. How long have you lived in Allfield? And he looks over to Norvad and goes, I believe that has been answered already, and none of you have lived in Allfield, correct?
No.
No.
You watch as Shareem begins to write down
Notice
on the
that
parchment.
Norvad struggles when he says that, but that's it.
He writes down on a parchment, how has the blight affected you? And he looks around, hoping for someone to answer first.
It hasn't.
It's
Nothing
given
at all.
us something to look into.
Something to look into, okay.
I guess you could arguably call it job security.
More like a problem to solve.
Problem to solve.
Lirros,
Well,
We
I learned a
agree.
new word because
And
of it.
the two kind of look over at each other, and well, we agree.
Mhm.
All right. So, have you or someone you know eaten blighted food? Cabbages, carrots, corn, anything?
Parsley, peppers, cabbages, and celery. No, none of that.
Wow.
Not
Okay.
while we've been here.
Mostly just rations, although we did eat from here
A
when
lot
we
of
first got
pastries.
here. A lot
Listen,
of pastries.
Pastries.
they're good for you.
And they look at each other and like, I don't think pastries. No. Okay. So, very well. All right. Let's see. Have you traveled on the northern roads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you mean ever?
Oh, I mean, from here, north of Allfield, on the trade route, recently.
Yes.
Okay.
Just yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have you recently visited the Allfield Cemetery to the north?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't see how. You're a bunch of gardeners. Is that what you said? You have an interest in gardening?
Yes, we do.
I mean,
Did they have a nice garden?
We
Not particularly, no.
visited, well, we stopped there. As you can see, I am more comfortable sleeping in places where I am at home.
I do not know what that means, but very well. Did you see anyone else there?
Oh yeah, sure. We played a board game while we were there, but that's about it.
A little
Board
bit of Jenga.
game.
A board game, a little Jenga. Have you never played Jenga?
They look at each other. No. But make a note of it, and you watch Shareem begin to write. How do you spell Jenga? Is that a G? A J?
Odessa's gonna
That's-
like sidle over to Norvad while they're both writing, and she'll just be, "Hey Norvad,
Yes.
Less telling the truth to these people, okay?
That's what I was doing.
No, I said less.
I know. That's what I was doing.
Don't tell them we went to the cemetery.
They know we went to the cemetery.
Well, now they...
And Lirros has not said anything. He's just looking at them. He doesn't care to talk about anything about what he's up to, what the group's been up to. He's just, if anything, I'm spending my whole action every time just inciting, but I don't have to roll for it. I'm not going to roll for it. That's all Lirros is doing.
Okay. And you're more than welcome to if you wish to, but all right. So they're continuing to make notes and we're nearing the end of our questions, and he'll begin to kind of flip through pages.
While Odessa was speaking, I was going to do something, and it's still going to happen as they came over. I'm looking because I'm standing, and they have a paper in front of them.
Yep.
Two things. One, are the questions about because the other questions seem standard, but then they started getting more specific. Are those actually on the paper?
Go and do a perception check. Yeah.
Okay, and then the second part of that was trying to figure out, was there something beneath those questions about the graveyard and stuff?
Like written.
I swear to God, natural 20.
All right.
But when
after you answered, did they write down what you said? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm trying to insight their behind the question of them asking, have we been to the graveyard and having all that, because they got way too specific, and I'm trying to see if they're trying to get something else out of our answer.
Understood. With the natural 20, what is the total though?
For me, that's a 27.
27. All right. So you look down at the paper, and sure enough, the questions are on the paper, and his Shareem's writing, although a little not really legible, we'll say, you can still discern what he's writing about, and he's answering the questions as you have stated. And there appears to be down at the very, very bottom, talking about the lantern. You see lantern, and you know where this is going. Mm-hmm. And you can assume that the questions were more or less I don't want to say a bait and switch, but they definitely are leading you down this path for you to say, that you are there or not or whatever. You have watched them with this perception. You have watched them look and glance at each other every now and then as you've answered a few of these questions. Take that for what you will.
And I want to also make, because I think it was missed, when Norvad said he was at the graveyard, he mentioned that he slept there, not that he did anything else. He's
okay, yeah.
It wasn't that he said, okay.
Oddly, none of that seems to be written down. Like they just kind of glossed over that. They not really sure what that means, and just like, sure, buddy, kind of thing, and have written the rest of it. What is at least meaningful to be, as far as our little questionnaire goes. And finally, you see that question at the very bottom, and they answer it, or they ask it. Have you or anyone else seen a particularly dark lantern? About a foot tall, dark metal, thorns on it. And you watch his fingers kind of cross as he stares at all of you.
I look at Odessa and I say, you have a lantern, don't you?
I do, in fact, have a lantern. Would you like to see my lantern, gentlemen?
You watch both of their postures as before you procure it. They just get a little excited. They're at the prospect of you producing anything that's called a lantern. And
sure.
You watch his kind of fingers kind of fall down to the table as he looks at you.
Hold on a second. I always have to check and see what it's actually called, because it has a name.
Things like Everbright.
Can I actually insight at this moment? That's the moment I will insight.
You may.
Everbright.
I have micro rolls all day, so 10. Carry on.
10. Okay.
So Odessa goes to reach and into her pocket, And before she turns it to face them, she does in fact turn it on full bore and swing it around into their face. This is my lantern. I made it. Do you like it?
All right. So before that, Michael, with that roll, even with the 10, you know that it's not. Something's up. You still don't. You're not quite there, but you're just like you've been thinking the entire time. But it's like, man, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop, and you're just sitting there like. Okay,
both me and Lirros are aligned here. That's where that is. Like Lirros is not. He doesn't care about anything that's happening. He's just like waiting for something to taking your eyes off of Thalamus, and Thalamus is looking at the at Odessa, and you watch his eyes just go as the lights goes full bore right into his face, and you see Sharim also kind of like, oh my god, and can you? He'll take his robe and just like.
In fairness, you did ask.
Turn that off, please. That is, oh my eyes. Is anyone else blinded? Oh my.
Were you blinded by the light? Because I didn't think that was something that was gonna really hurt you that bad.
Can Harmond also insight check these guys? He's just been kind of sitting here.
Yeah. You got your special trousers. Let's go.
Oh, that's not good. That's a 7. So
7 total.
Yeah, 7 total.
Okay. You're trying to piece together the missing bits from you going upstairs and having come down, and everyone basically you went up when they had that very, very tense moment. You came back down, and everything's now just tense, and you're not really sure what happened in between then. So you're more like just trying to catch up at this moment. So you're not really there, but you're getting there. All right, Odessa. So you turn off the lantern at all, or?
Yeah, no, she turns off the lantern. Oh, I'm so sorry, gentlemen. You did ask.
Aki, go ahead and roll me a D6 for me. No modifiers, just a regular D6. 5. Okay. I will bring you in right at that 5-round mark, basically. So.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I try to make it fair here. I don't want to make it roll a D20 and then you get 20. Like, well, looks like we'll be seeing hockey next week. No, but all right. So I got it in my mind. All right, Odessa, you have. Do you turn off the lantern? You said.
Oh yeah, no, I disengaged the lantern.
Okay.
Now, is that all the questions y'all gentlemen have for us?
I believe so. We're growing weary ourselves.
No, I think turnabout's fair play.
Turnabout.
I have a question for you.
You have something for me. What is it? Do we now sit here and accept your questions? Is that how this goes? Is that how you wish for it to go?
You're being awful hostile.
I'm not being hostile. You were hostile to us. If you can excuse my demeanor, we were just shot a spell at. And as he points to the mark on the tavern wall, which is still there.
Oh, that just
not
means
smoldering
he likes
by any
you.
means.
He does that to us all the time.
Does he? And he looks over back at Lirros.
I don't blink. I'm just looking at him.
All right. You are all a strange bunch.
So, can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Since we're friends.
He now begins to kind of pack up his papers as he's now done.
I don't think you need to pack everything up. We're going to be here a few more minutes.
We are, but we don't need this. So he packs it away in his robes. You see Sharim begin to do the process of, finally emptying the quill in his nib.
Well, since she's kind of watching. Since you seem real interested in the blight, I assume you're interested in ending it, which is, what we are hoping to do.
Is why we want the lantern. We are looking to procure it. We heard it has abilities, and we feel that there is someone.
Abilities that, say, gardeners would know how to use?
Sure. I mean, we wish to discern the aspects. We have those in our employ that know more than we do.
Oh, so you have like mages, wizards?
Sure. Yes. I mean, most guilds do.
I should have rolled with advantage the whole time. I do have the ring of truth telling. Anytime I was trying to figure out if they were telling the truth.
Go ahead and roll.
forgot.
Roll again. Roll again. And noted, I will add that to your file.
18. There's one thing that Lirros is about. It's spycraft. And this is his shit.
For 9 episodes, this man's
I've used it once before. I've used it once or twice before. I just forgot for this episode.
No, it's funny.
And it's only on Insight, correct?
Yeah, it's on Insight.
Okay,
Determine it's specifically to determine if people are lying to me.
Good. All right. With an 18, you know, kind of actually, you know, at this point, Norvad, you will also see something kind of perk up in Lirros as he's been just sitting there reading them over and over, looking into their eyes, each of them, making sure they slip up, just anything at all, and he catches it. And you notice this, and at that point, you kind of realize that there's a little more to Lirros than, well, obviously, there's more to a lot of your companions than meets the eye, but in this fashion, you remember something. You remember. It reminds you of how you used to be in an assembly of thieves, spies. Yeah, something like that. You internalize it, but it's noted in the back of your brain. You know the type of look that Lirros is given and has now given an eyebrow perks. And
Lirros would actually see Norvad just kind of stare at him in return. But that's it.
Not looking at Lirros.
That's fine. Yeah. You just
So Lirros, you know now. It seems like much like how Norvad had procured earlier, that they are leading you down a path to try to see if you were there that night when the sorcerer died. So
I'm gonna bust out my own paper and pen and start to writing. Okay. Just like, you know, if this is kind of like who's interrogating who kind of deal, and so it's like I'm trying to reverse the role or flip the script, and so now I'm breaking it out.
Okay. All right, fine. I would imagine you probably have a charcoal pencil on you, and you're able to get a small little piece of parchment ready.
If not, Odessa can flip him one. Okay. She's got hers.
This is just a standard thing. I'm not going to make you look or search for it. Everyone has a charcoal pencil. Not in real life, but in the D&D life.
Shout out to Wizards of the Coast for the pencils we use in game. Totally.
Yeah. Does yours have the? Oh no, it actually says +1 to writing and whatnot.
I wish
mine do. Anyway, so Odessa, you are currently asking a few questions. They are intent on answering them. It looks like they seem a little amused at the prospect, and Thalamus has now gone back to.
It's funny how when you're it's funny how when you're big and you talk a little bit different, people don't think you're that bright, isn't it? So, have you been to the cemetery? I mean, you seem to think that there's some lovely gardens up there.
No, there aren't any lovely gardens, but we go there to investigate, and we have found out that there seems to be some object related to the blight, and we'd like to know more about this, as it can.
How'd you find out about it? She's just going to keep interrupting him. She's not.
How did we find out about it? I don't know. Who was it that? Shireen, do you know the name? I don't. I'm just here along for the ride. I'm given little information. I'm just well. Okay, very well. Look, is this all, or are you going to continue going on for 15 minutes?
Friend, I'm just getting started. You see, you took our time. We gave it to you.
Yes, but...
And she kind of stands up a little straighter so she's not leaning on the wall anymore. So when you guys garden, just wondering, do you do anything with vegetables?
Well, we do everything with all types of crops. We have vegetables. We have orchards that we look after in the Dwendalian Empire. We have small vegetable gardens. Yes, all sorts of various things. Yes.
Because you asked a question earlier, and then when I answered you, you totally ignored me.
What was that?
Thanks for that.
I
You asked about
apologize.
the,
what was it?
The what we've learned, and I said, well, I learned a new word.
Oh yes, what was that?
So now she's going to look straight at both of them because she's going to try and see if they react to it. Vegetable mancy.
They give you a quizzical look. Go ahead and roll insight.
Boop, boop, boop. Not my strongest suit. Actually, that is a 22.
They genuinely look really confused as they look at each other.
Okay. Well, then I only have one more question for you.
No, I'm sorry. We have never heard that word.
I have one more question for you, though.
Sure. One more question. Yes.
She tears the page out of her journal and slaps it down on the table.
The symbol.
What does that mean? You seemed awfully intent on hiding it.
It is merely a symbol. It is where a few of us hail from. It's just a symbol.
DM, 2 questions.
You may ask them.
Here comes Harmond.
Massive insight check about the lantern thing. The whole, we just heard about it. Now, Mike is calling BS, but Harmond wants to insight check the hell out of that.
Okay, that's okay. Question 1. Go ahead and roll me insight.
All right, that is okay. That is a 21.
Okay, you think it's kind of bullshit that they're like, oh yes, And then question 2.
Does Harmond recognize that symbol? And
roll me history
more
check.
Importantly, I'm gonna see if Harmond knows that symbol first. That is a 19.
19. Okay. You, much like the others who have tried to delve into that, you've seen it, you know it. What was it? The gathering, it's not magic related, or is it? It's magic related. So maybe magic the assembly. No, it's
Magic the assembly. My follow-up question is. Because Harmond is also a part of a specific order. And my question is, does his order have any insight or knowledge, like from his experience with that?
That will be a question that I'll have to delve into for sure. Because they might.
Okay.
Being a larger order like that, they would probably have dealings with them, if not even under the table. So we'll get into that for sure. I'm going to delve into that. I'm going to make a note for that because that's juicy stuff.
Okay. Gonna put that in my back pocket for later.
But for sure, you notice that, I mean, they seem to be kind of, beating around the bush the entire time. And then finally, when they get you all together, realize who you are, and then suddenly just begin to backpedal on the whole lantern thing. So
has Loom made it back by this point yet?
Yes. So now, here's the thing though. Loom, as you approach the tavern, after spending a while, you actually go ahead and speak to the townsfolk. And you just go, have you seen? You try to describe, the various party members, and they go, I think they kind of went that way, and and you think, well, that direction. All right, tavern. You notice that there is a guard posted outside who seems to have an ear inwards and is just kind of waiting there.
Is everything all right?
Good. Yes, everything is just fine. What are you?
Well, I was.
Watch him like he stands up straight now and puts his halberd at the ready position and begins to just kind of.
Or did I catch you unawares? Were you?
Yes, you did. Just.
It does no good to slack on your post. I am on my way. My friends are in there.
Okay. Yes. Well. All right. Fine.
Is there a reason you're guarding this door? Has something gone wrong?
Listen, you may not want to enter there. There may be a fight going on at some point. It looks a little heated. Just
Hey. Well, that is very disturbing to hear.
indeed.
And poor little old me, I couldn't possibly be any good in a fight.
No, oh no. I wholeheartedly agree. Excuse me. You you're curious. I
I've never heard anyone describe me that way before.
No, nothing. I just we don't see a whole lot of outlanders here in Alfio. They travel through, but never really staying for quite a long time. It's just
Well, perhaps I enjoy going further afield than my own hometown. Besides, there's something quaint about this place. But if you'll excuse me, if there is a fight going on inside, I should do something about that.
No. He goes to try to grab you, and you weep.
Actually, don't go in the front door. I walk away and start making a beeline for the back of the bar. See if I can get to the back of the tavern.
All right. So
if there was a back way in through this door I just left, maybe there's a back way into this bar.
There isn't really a back way to the tavern, at least not that you were aware of from being inside, but you do know as you're walking, looking for a back door, right? You make it over to the alleyway where the tavern is. You're looking at a window that is cracked open from the top, right? So it hinges on the top. This appears to be the room where the bathtub was.
Perfect. I will try to climb in through there.
Go ahead and roll me. Just do a quick dexterity check, acrobatics or athletics, whatever you want to do.
Acrobatics, check. I'm having a lot of fun just being silly over here, you guys. Thank you for indulging me while I do rogue silliness.
Do your rogue shit.
Indulging you is one of my favorite
rogue
pastimes.
shit.
You haven't done much rogue shit this campaign, so do rogue shit.
Yeah. 19.
19. Easy enough. You don't even move the window as you it's propped up by a small little stick that just kind of holds it open in place. You can actually kind of feel the wafting warm air from the bath. You hop in. No one's inside the bath currently, and
well, that's fortunate. I would never want to catch somebody unawares while they're trying to relax in the bath. Unless it were one of my own friends, and then it would be funny.
Right. And so you now make your way to the door there, and it's closed, but not locked, obviously, because it's on the inside. You're on the inside now. You open it, and you're able to peer through the crack. You see the barkeep kind of just right in your far peripheral, just keeping tabs on everything that's kind of happening there. The bar itself, or the lower level, seems somewhat devoid of people. There appear to be maybe 3 others there, when this is kind of a happening place, and have just everyone's eyesight is towards the one booth where every one of your friends are currently at. The 2 people that you saw earlier approach your friends are sitting down, and it appears that Odessa is kind of towering above, just shooting questions, and you're now arrived to watch her doing that. So
doing
Odessa,
her
we're
cool
back to
giant
you.
lady bit, like it.
We're back to you now, Odessa. If you wish to, you said you had one last question, I believe.
I mean, that was kind of my last question. Was the symbol?
Right. So yeah, you just put it down, and everyone at this point, you can see he's not really trying to hide it now. He is shocked that you have produced this image. It's kind of tensed him up a little bit, but he begins to backpedal just the same. And look, the order, the cultivationists, right? We have the symbol. You see, this here represents a tuberous root. This is the corn. This is I believe that was
Norvad speaks up.
Yep.
I don't know much, as I said, but I am keen on when people are lying. However, I think we have both answered the questions we are willing to answer, and we have given the information we are willing to give. I believe this concludes our discussion.
You watch as a visible sigh goes over Thelma's. Very well.
I do hope you find more information. We are but a few lowly adventurers. We don't know more than what we have told you.
Of course, and we are going to continue the investigation, right, Sharim? Yes, very good, sir. Yes, he's now finished packing up all of his belongings and his various satchels and packs and whatnot. All the his riding kit has now been put away, and you see him kind of just like he stands up. Sharim stands up first and kind of just moves his overcoat, and we'll look down at the other pile of breadsticks on the ground and just kind of on the table. And
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Huh?
Spit it out.
She likes her pastries.
You watch him. There is a bite, like just a maybe 2 millimeters worth of indentation there, and he puts it down. You can also see like a piece of or not piece, like a droplet of saliva begin to go. Okay. Fair enough. No bread for me then. I could use a little weight anyway.
I mean, I'm not here to body shame you. I'm not going to body shame anybody. That is a terrible thing to do. But I want that bread.
No, yeah. You get Thalamus now moves the bread basket over to you, and he stands up too. Very well.
Out of curiosity, what has Ekris been doing?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too.
Yeah.
It's a quiet
Ekris has just been sitting there, and he's been answering questions this whole time. But now just kind of watching the rest of it unfold.
I think Loom would have tried to get to a place where they could caught somebody's attention, and if they had noticed that Ekris had been sitting there quietly, they probably would have tried to get his attention to let him know they were there.
Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand, Loom, and Ekris, roll a perception.
All right.
Oh, please. Would any of my dice like to stay in the tray? The 10.
11.
You said 10, Loom?
Yeah, just a 10.
Oh.
Okay, so it's enough that you barely see it, Ekris. You're kind of like, you're there, calm, watching everything unfold, and you see, yeah, exactly. You see in the far corner, you're like, what is that? Oh, it's your buddy Loom, and
trying not to react while like sitting in the middle of this group.
Yeah.
Just like a slow nod. Just
if that is all, then you can. Well, I can't tell you to leave. I do not own this place, but we have our own things to deal with.
No, very well. We will absolutely get out of your hair now. Come.
Oh, by the way, where is your guild located? Just because, if we run into any gardening questions.
The north, I told you.
Yes, the north it's lots of places have a north.
If you head over to the main street, which is just outside here, you make your way north.
Mm-hmm.
At what was it? The street, the cross street, Periwinkle. Yes, all right. Thank you. And he stands up, and you watch him kind of like closely to his side, and begins to make his way out the door. And
Can I insight him on just the location?
Yeah, like he's making
See if
it
he's
up.
telling the truth.
Roll with advantage.
Yeah.
You get advantage. I do not.
I need all the advantage because I still roll like a 15.
Yeah, I rolled a Michael.
So 15 total.
Yeah.
He did say it was north.
Cool.
To that end, you heard the word Periwinkle, as you imagine it's probably one of the, maybe a street name. You're not really sure. You're not really familiar with Allfield. And
good.
But it's who knows?
Sounds good.
You watch as the two robed figures, they make their way out, and you watch the shadow. You can see the shadow on the ground of where the guard is, was almost peering in, and it moves out of the way, and then you see the shadow disappear as the two robes figure move out and look around away from you now, the back of their heads to your vision, and they just walk over to the north. So,
and this is where
now,
Loom vaults into view, like probably over the bar. Like they probably
in
just
fact,
like
you do
hello!
in fact vault.
They just
Straight up
greet
vault
the
over
bartender
the
and just
middle
like,
table there, and not knocking anything over. Just
you guys certainly know how to clear a room.
Those were two of the strangest gardeners I'd ever seen.
Gardeners? Oh, there's no way they were gardeners.
There are no gardeners.
I don't really know what they were, but there was attempts to conceal things. There was misinformation given, though they tried to seem like we were the ones not being truthful. That was where I had a problem.
I tried to follow one of the other guard people, the other person that was standing further away, but unfortunately, I don't know. I think the sunlight, I might be allergic to sunlight. It makes it really difficult to sneak up on people. I'm much better in the dark.
You can borrow my shoes sometime if you want. You want to borrow my shoes?
I don't think I need to. They look much better on you anyway. I don't think they'd look as good on me. It's not really fitting the color scheme.
Norvad turns to... Oh, God, sorry.
No.
Norvad turns to Lirros. Are you okay? You, I believe, were very interested, at least more than we might be. Are they of your... what is the word I look for? Does your matron have eyes on them too?
No, they do not. I get very tense when people start lying about simple things and obfuscate information, like you said. It had that been some other time in my life, that might have ended up very differently for those very strange gentlemen.
There was an urge for me to poke and dig deeper. I'm not sure why. I feel like I had a natural knack to do so.
Is there something about them that we should be concerned about?
Very much so.
I left, and I think I might have missed something important.
I believe it might be nice today to go on an evening stroll.
And I try and say that like quietly to the group, in case anyone is listening. And I look specifically at Loom like with an intention.
I would, I mean, they told us where they might be stationed, so if they truly are there, might be curious to see.
Oh, you know me. I'd love to do a sneak.
We should be very, very careful when dealing with these people. I don't know. The symbol looks very familiar. I forget the name, but...
Symbol?
Yeah, do you want to see it?
Yeah.
I drew... one of them was wearing a pin that he then pretended he wasn't wearing. And so I drew it.
Okay.
Just saying that if we can avoid them for now, we probably should. I don't know much, but
yeah.
I know that they're the type that we should probably avoid.
Odessa
Usually-
holds up the symbol to Loom.
Oh.
I never asked either Gil per backstory, per small memories coming back, things of that nature. Does that ring any bells for me?
Which in particular, the
symbol. The symbol.
Okay.
Yeah,
go
I'd
and
also
roll
like
for
to
me.
roll.
Both of you roll me a history check. Norvad, though, let me just you roll it for now. Let me see into your backstory what I can divulge.
And I'll also say this.
That's like my second natural one of the day. So
Ooh,
That's
Natty
good.
I was
Michaels.
assuming-
Just Natty Michaels all around.
all day.
This is not
Gil,
been a good roll day.
I was assuming
By the
Ekris
way,
did not
Harmond,
know,
you look
but
really good in
right.
that kilt.
Thanks. I try not to wear formal when I can, but
I mean, you've got nice calves. I don't see why you shouldn't.
I'm
There's-
going to guidance myself.
I'm sorry,
Any
Ekris,
guidance?
we interrupted you.
Oh, I
Sorry,
was just saying, Gil, I had assumed Ekris had no idea, right?
So
Muted.
from
Muted.
Gil, you have the silence.
You can go ahead and roll if you'd like. I mean, you see now you're now seeing the symbol for the, if it is for the first time.
Right.
However, you know, in your
Yeah.
past travels, who knows? Just go if you want to. You can go ahead and roll. Norvad, what did you roll?
So for me, it's actually pretty darn good because I have a -2. It was a 17 on a die, which made that a 15, but with a +4, that's a 19.
Gotcha. Okay. And Loom, you said natural one, right?
Yeah, natural.
Ekris, what did you?
That's I've got a +0 to history, so that's 11.
11. All right. Ekris, you're not really entirely sure. Loom, you have never seen the symbol before in your life, and it honestly,
An innocent little person
it
from
is
Marquette.
so
What could
innocent.
I
Yes,
know?
of course.
Little old man.
Norvad, you with your 19, you're looking at the symbol, and initially it doesn't really mean anything. You're just staring down, and the fact that your memory surfaced at all in looking at Lirros, you're brought back to a time when you were not who you are now. You were more used. You were a tool for an organization. You were good, though. You were a very good tool. You were used a lot. You were a spy? Infiltration was your forte. The symbol, it means something to you. You're not sure of the name, but it means something. You know you've seen this before in your previous life.
Norvad is staring at the symbol. And you kind of see his already glazed over eyes, just like, if you could see like the small irises, actual circular, you see they're like staring at the symbol.
Norvad, do you know this?
The symbol almost haunts you.
I don't know,
Hmm.
but I feel like I do.
What does your instincts tell you? Is this something that we should do as Harmond says and avoid, or something that we should dig deeper on?
It's all hazy. I think it might be a powerful organization. I just don't know why. It leaves me with unease, more unease than I already feel.
Well, Odessa puts it away real quick. I don't want you to feel that way.
It is not always possible to avoid feelings of unease in this world.
No, but it's possible to try to stop causing them.
Well, you didn't do it on purpose.
No. You're fine. Ever since I woke up, I haven't been able to search within and understand or remember anything before that, and now I'm having feelings of before, even more so than I did in the monastery.
You should write them down.
Norvad, it almost feels like a headache is about to come on. Your vision is not necessarily clouded, but it's just, there's a lot of thinking involved.
I'm sorry. And he just kind of you see him kind of zoning in and out.
I gesture the barkeep for water.
Would you like a hug? Hugs
No.
are usually good.
No, I mean, I don't mind hugs. I don't think a hug is necessary. Unless you are interested in hugging, I do not think that is the...
I like hugs. Hugs are good. They are very good for the soul.
I don't know the logic behind that, but okay.
Because they make you feel good. And Bloom's going to give Norvad a big hug.
He is stiff.
And also cold.
Squeeze,
Even
and then
more
I let-
stiff than he typically does when he's starting to get used to the hugs. He's a lot more stiff.
Yeah. Squeeze and then let go.
Also, here's some water if the hug wasn't
Yeah,
satisfactory.
Milos has come over. The male.
Thank you.
Yeah, just with the glass pitcher has poured you a glass of water there. Actually, several glasses. Brought a few glasses over, and whispers to you, Lirros. Is there anything else you'd like?
No, that'll be good.
So the plan is to go on a little bit of a nighttime stroll and maybe stab a few people.
Maybe.
We don't know. I believe we should listen to Norvad's guidance on this one, because he's the only one who seems to have any sort of
Ekris
perhaps
wouldn't let
history.
me stab them either.
Plus, our primary objective is to end the blight in this area. So long as we dawdle, people will suffer. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm curious. Thank you, Ekris. I'm curious about these people, but I'm also cautious. They're an unknown entity, and based on, from what I understand, Norvad, from what you've said, maybe it's a mystery for another day. I mean, this doesn't mean we can't go back to it, but we shouldn't let these people suffer to help sate our curiosity.
I made it clear to Lirros that my goal was to help end this blight. And now that we have, I believe, everything we need.
We should.
I do have one question. No one really told us how we actually activate the spell.
You
Did they?
have the scroll in your hand, correct?
Oh, right. We had a scroll. Cool. All right. I retract that statement. I could not remember if we had been given the actual instructions to the ritual.
But thinking about that, you do have the scroll, and you remember that it was lengthy in just in your initial oh no, you didn't unfurl it. Did you unfurl it?
I think I've looked at it. Yeah.
So yeah, in it you would have seen the spell components. You would have seen a description of the spell, and then a little bit more writing, as you can imagine. This is what Rune Kazed had written down for you. So if you wish to, you can.
Yeah. No, I agree with Ekris. I think that we should stay focused, and Harmond, of course. I think we should stay focused and finish this job first. And then if we have the opportunity to look into this guild, and it will help to ease Norvad's mind, then that is definitely something that I'm interested in doing. But we did make a promise, and I do think it's important for us to keep it.
Yeah, and I think probably some of us might need to take a little bit better of a rest than we got walking back.
I agree.
I mean, should we go get our rooms? Like, we paid quite a bit, right?
I believe we should see what this spell is and then get some rest, and perhaps if we do well enough, we can do, as they say, 2 birds with the 1 stone here.
Mm-hmm.
Who says that?
People in Semnian.
2 birds, 1 stone. I understand.
So how about we go get some like dinner, and we eat it over there. They have that nice table. We can all sit around. We can talk, and then we can get some rest.
Perhaps we should. I believe people call it takeout, and we can bring it back to a room.
I mean, that's fine by me.
Tavern Dash.
Eat in
Tavern
peace.
Dash.
I'm sorry. I get a bad feeling about those, and I have an even bigger feeling that they will be watching us now.
Probably.
Probably right. I try to avoid attention, but I'm not entirely sure I was successful. Again, I do not think I am very effective in sunlight.
Well, me and Ekris can go get the sustenance we require and bring it back here or wherever
That
we're
sounds like
eating.
a plan.
Okay. Because we should probably do something to like, I don't know, relax and not think about this for a while, right?
Yes.
I can read y'all my favorite book. Do you want me to read y'all my favorite book?
What is your favorite book?
Yes.
At this point, Kelly, I feel like your character has a plushie of a dog with her.
Sorry.
And just kind of
Just pulled it out of the coat.
He gets really upset after a little bit and likes to come in here. It's really fantastic. I'm not going to tell you, it's going to spoil.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So we have a plan then.
You two get food. We go upstairs. I guess we can use my room.
Our room?
Yeah, our room.
Oh, I thought you were kicking me out.
No, that was the royal my.
Y'all are saying these colloquialisms and all this shit that Norvad just does not. I didn't know Maya's royal.
It's not. Loom is just.
Do you wear a crown?
I mean, I could. My head would look so good with a crown on me.
Odessa, where did you get that?
Don't ask.
You have realized
Are
that
the
her
guard going to
jacket
be
just
chasing
has
us?
lots of different pockets in it that just random things seem to appear from. It's a magic jacket.
So assuming that we would all go back to the inn and like sit and eat whatever, Odessa's gonna pull out something that's all torn and tattered, doesn't have a cover, doesn't have anything, and she kind of waits until she's eaten her food and then she's looking around at everybody. Y'all ready?
Sure.
Before you start, DM, is there a way that I could potentially, like, my character wants to like write a letter to his order to give them a heads up on what's been going on here? Is there a way that he can send one to them at all, or?
Feel that there might be a correspondence type of a service, a page, if you will. You think that most larger cities, much like this, should have something like that. Probably even close to the guard tower that you were all privy to earlier in the day.
Awesome. Yeah, Harmon's gonna pull out a quill and paper. I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna work while you read.
No, it's okay. It's okay. All right. This I love this book. I think y'all are gonna love this book. This book is Why I Became an Adventurer. And she just kind of clears her throat. It starts. In my travels through Ankarel, I had never seen so many magical items in one place. But then I saw them walking up to me and I knew I had met some very special people. As the group turned around, I knew I had them and our adventure was about to begin. I'm not reading anymore past that.
Oh boy, I've heard this one. 2 stars I've heard.
Feels
2 stars.
oddly familiar.
I have no idea what this could be.
What's that?
This is my
Yeah,
first
I was
time
like-
reading it.
Close
Odessa
by
goes
to where I.
on.
You do
and
see, and
on.
Norvad,
Oh yes,
Norvad
Odessa
sits
just
in-
keeps reading.
Norvad sits in cross-leg style right in front of Odessa and listens.
Loom has been scooting ever closer to Harmond, trying to figure out what he's up to. Just being like nosy as fuck.
Just wait for it. There's so many pastries in this book.
I grab my cloak when I'm done, finish eating, like the cloak hood, and I just like put my head back and put the cloak part over my eyes.
And you nod off to sleep. It's been a long day. Odessa, as you continue talking and whatever, you're enthralled with the story again, reliving it almost entirely from the beginning, and you're not really noticing that your compatriots there have either shifted or done their own thing. Just like, you continued on, and
Listen, Norvad's paying attention to me.
Absolutely, no. Norvad is almost like at your feet, basically, and just kind of.
So she's gonna do different voices for everybody.
Okay. Harmond, Loom has approached you. In their sly form has now shifted, and is now basically right to your right hand side.
Harmond is going to pretend like he doesn't notice and not hide what he's working on.
Okay.
Loom is just a living, like a living eyes emoji over here, just like
The okay. So if you want to, you can roll a investigation.
investigation. Okay, cool. As it definitely didn't do it on my self check. Not that they were doing
With advantage,
really
because he's not
bothering.
hiding. He specifically said he's not hiding it, so with advantage.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I can't roll anything over a 10 today. That was only an 11.
11. All right. So Harmon, you can divulge what you wish. If you wish to make it private, you're more than welcome to, or you can speak it.
I am going to make it private.
Nice. Good. So Loom, you're watching all the little juicy details unfold before your eyes as you you're hearing Odessa in her sing-songy voice begin to get into character here and there and whatnot.
I want to make it very clear that Loom is still paying attention to and listening to Odessa.
Absolutely.
But they can do two things at once.
Absolutely.
They're very
Yes.
good at multitasking.
Okay. All right.
They are not going to disrespect their friend by ignoring her.
So as the evening essentially unfolds, Odessa begins to, go into chapter 2 now, and it starts again, with various extravagant tales of this one guy with his newly found friends, and continues on and on. The rest of you, Lirros has now gone and nodded off to sleep at this point, and are you all in your rooms right? You're in the tavern rooms?
No, we were in the down. I think we were like
downstairs. Okay.
or
No.
in our room. Well, we were in our room.
We're in a room.
We're like all bunched into a room right now.
Yeah,
Right. There's a few candles glowing in the room that give off a nice bougie atmosphere. As again, Lirros is now just gone and he's passed out. Harmond has now finished up his letter. Loom, and I'll have you to do what you will with that. Ekris, Norvad, you're still intently listening, I assume? Anything you wish to do before the night unfolds and you fall to sleep?
No, I'll probably
This is going to be a several night thing.
Yeah,
I'll
just probably nod off during it at some point.
until I do grog and then you wake up because I yell.
Yeah, slumber party in our room. Yay!
Yeah, and I'm just listening, trying to get my head off of whatever happened.
Which was
All
what
right.
she was trying to do anyway.
So the rest of you begin to cozy up, eventually finding your a place to sleep in this room, all comfortable, well fed, a little harried from the earlier day's experience, but you find comfort that all of your friends are here, that you just listened to a interesting story of another band of adventurers that, who knows, may have a parallel lives to your own, and you find solace in that. And that's where we'll end today's session as they all fall asleep.
I was scared there's gonna be a flashback or something. I'm like, hold on, I'm settling in.
Roll
I'm
initiative,
like, where
go.
are you going?
Wow, Jesus, that was such a good episode, y'all. Thank you so much, Gil, for your.
Is it
amazing-
canon that I have a plush dog now?
I want to, sure. You know what? Why
Please.
not? Absolutely.
Please.
Come on, you
That
have
should be.
an infinite amount of like pocket space in your. Why not have a little tiny little plushie of
It should be a blink
Scotty.
dog. A blink
It's
dog.
a little plushy blink dog.
Blink dog's
Look at
plushie.
the baby. Hello, baby.
Precious.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for being here. Quick thing that's noted in chat. Yes, today's episode and every other episode other than last week's. Well, no, I'll say this. Every episode other than last week's is already on YouTube, youtube.com/Let's Get Wildemount. Last week's episode and this week's episode will be uploaded. I'm going to try by tomorrow to get them both up. That's my apologies on last week. Time just got way out of hand, and I do this mostly by myself. But with that being said, thank you all so much for being here. You all are amazing. Again, we do have a code, #wild with an E at the end, to win a digital copy to Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. Sorry, I was struggling. Via D&D Beyond. We're going to go around and say who we are, where we can find you and all that jazz. And then we'll roll that and get going for the evening. We are going to start with, I don't know. I always start that. Oh, yeah, we're going to start with Mike.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike. You can find me at Mike, I guess, at most social media. I stream occasionally on Twitch. Same thing, twitch.tv/Mike, I guess. And coming soon, a Vampire the Masquerade show called Fangs of New York. First episode, TBD.
Kelli.
Hello, I am Kelli, mostly known as the Opera Geek. This is Scotty, in case anybody doesn't know his name by now. You can find me here on Saturdays, obviously playing Odessa. My Monday night D&D game is on a bit of a hiatus right now, but I do stream games during the week. I've just started playing again Assassin's Creed Odyssey with, of course, my bath towel playthrough, as it should be. And tomorrow on my channel, I'm going to do something I've never done ever before. So move that back up. Sorry, bud. And I'm going to do an unboxing on my channel because somebody who might be me may have come into possession of a certain amount of miniatures that are maybe from a place called Wildemount. Just saying. That's me.
Heck yeah. Michael.
Hello. My name is Michael Sinclair II. Go by Michael Crits everywhere. I have a show on Wednesdays called Into the Motherlands, which the Kickstarter went off, and you can still keep throwing money at that Kickstarter if you'd like, so we can get more and more cool things to give y'all. I am part of Second Star to the Right show, a D&D show taking place in the Neverlands. I'm also part of Feyforge Academy, which is a podcast in a Feywild School of Magic. So that's also pretty cool. Podcast drops on Friday. And then I recently did something with another Magic the Gathering content creator where we talked about the new Forgotten Realms set coming out for Magic the Gathering. And we talked about lore and how powerful the cards are. So I play Magic the Gathering on my off time when I have it. That's me.
Aki.
Hi, everybody. I am Aki, and you can find me over on Twitter at Mixed Genie in a Bottle. That's MXGINIINABOTTLE. And my entire Twitch streaming schedule can be found on my personal channel, twitch.tv/ShidariAki. That's SHIDAREAKI. Tomorrow, of course, New Pantheon is still on hiatus, but we should be back with our new season soon. So make sure to look out for more announcements about that. On Monday, you can catch me over on D&D Twitch again with Roll20 Presents. We're doing Candlekeep Mysteries. That's at 1 p.m. PST, and then at 6:30 PST, you can catch me over on Q Times with the Stream Punks. We are going to be doing a special Lasers and Feelings one-shot GM'd by Bonnie Gordon, who is GMing her very first time, and we're going to be doing an Alice in Wonderland themed episode. It should be a lot of fun. And then on Wednesdays, you can catch the premiere of season 2 of All Games No Masters at 7 p.m. over on Saving Throws Show. That's the show that I produce, where we play a bunch of tabletop RPGs that are GM-less, and it's a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. And then the following week after that, on June 1st, is the premiere of my show with Indiecade, RP Game Changers, that I co-host with comic book writer extraordinaire Kelli, where we play independent tabletop RPGs. And that'll be a summer show, and it's going to be a lot of fun as well. So definitely check all of that stuff out.
Nick.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm Nick the Tiefling on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch. You can find me on all those places where I make all kinds of D&D and other nerdy content and random stuff. And then I stream a variety of things on Twitch. And you can also find me, in addition to being here, on Wednesdays at 5:30 Pacific on Fae Fiends and Friends, where I play Novus, a very lovable, naive paladin Oath of Glory. Very fun, very fun. And that's me.
Gil.
Hey folks, I am your humble dungeon master. I go by Gil the Vlogsmith on pretty much everywhere, mostly on Twitter, where you can find me if you want to ask me questions, etc. Being the second to last episode of Let's Get Wildemount, I want to say that I love these people dearly. They have been a godsend for just me being a dungeon master in general. And you can continue to support us, via the various things. Spreading awareness of us at all is a huge help. The subscription for YouTube is free. Sharing is free. Likes and all that, all the algorithm, because of the way the algorithms work, all that helps us absolutely. So again, if you can donate, wonderful. That is absolutely, a blessing. If not, we're happy that you're along for the ride, and I'm happy to be the dungeon master of these wonderful people. So that's all I'm going to say. Just thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for being a part of it.
And you know me, my name is Omega Jones, also known as the Critical Bard. Critical Bard across all social media channels. I'm the executive producer of Let's Get Wildemount. Mythematic is the technical producer. Shout out to him, the man behind the curtain. Make sure you support him in the ways you support us as well. You can catch me doing many things, including after this, I'll be over on Lock Network for the Gravengon Order. A lot of other shows on hiatus this week or for a while, like New Pantheon Academia, and Realm Smith is off in honor of Victoria Day because they are Canadians. But you can catch me many other places. I will say Pride Month. Keep a lookout for that. And there's another thing that's not necessarily associated with Pride, but is associated with the people who created the campaign that we're using right now. So just keep a watch for all that stuff on my channel or on my socials. Again, thank you so much for being here. The winner of the giveaway is Kieran Tries Hard. I'll be reaching out to you to get a digital copy of the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. We are going to raid our friend Satine Phoenix, who is celebrating her birthday. 2, the end of the Sirens Battle of the Bards Kickstarter campaign that I have the honor of being a stretch goal for. I'll be creating a NPC item and location in Salvata, the Bardic City of Revolution.
Nice.
Thank you all so much for being here. Stay wild. We will see you all next week for the finale of Let's Get Wildemount. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.